Welcome to the Wholesale Investor STEM Investor Showcase event. And thank you very much for inviting me for this keynote session. Now, today, I'm going to talk about why is it so important for us to look into the STEM investment, especially now in the post-COVID-19 situation. So before I start, I'd like to just give a very high-level introduction of ourselves. So we are actually a single family office backed fund based in Singapore. And we pride ourselves very much because we have been extensively investing into disruptive technology all these years. And a lot of the achievement were in the past during this e-commerce time, where one of our home run is Alibaba Group. And of course, we have a few more home run, as you can see, one of which is also Tesla. The team in Leonie Hill Capital is very much comprises of very highly experienced fund managers. Like myself, I spent over 15 years in the tech industry, from Hewlett-Packard, VMware, NEC Cloud. So we've got a lot of the experience on the ground, looking into how to build tech ventures over the world. But this is a cross-industry fund. We have been also investing into recently a lot into the energy transition over the world. And we will continue to build sustainability into our investment pipeline. So I am invited to talk about the STEM investment today. And I think let me just touch on that COVID-19 situation has given a lot of pains to us in the whole world, to the whole world. And but it has also presented opportunities for us as investment specialists. And we are really looking into creating more initiative down the road, recognizing that it's so important, right, to harness more innovation, uses technologies to see how we could tackle this whole serious pandemic issue. So we have pledged as a fund to look at more investment down the road, especially in the area of where ventures and private ventures, where we are able to contribute in response to COVID-19 pandemic. As you can see, I think the digitalization is here to accelerate. And we think that, this whole digital infrastructure is going to be really the foundation, how we live, how we work, and in this whole post-COVID-19 world. And we are looking beyond just making money. In fact, we are looking into a lot of initiative around the world, helping some of those public institutions to look at, and the government agencies to look at how they are able to leverage on technologies to help them solve some of their national issues. And I want to say is that we are quite active now, looking into how to look at solving some of those more pain points in the area of logistics, how to deploy medical aids, and how do we ease the pressure of medical staff. So a lot of the effort now has been channeled into the healthcare sector. And I think we ought to do that because we, as a financial institution, we look at just beyond making money. And this is really for the good of the world. Some of those activities that has been keeping us really busy for the past month. And I like to highlight a few of some of those that I'm very, very passionate in doing it. I think one of which we all know that testing of the COVID-19 virus has been really a bottleneck to a lot of those public health institutions. And we had actually mobilized some of our tech companies to use artificial intelligence, looking into how to deploy algorithms that has been proven in the past, users into the lung-related diseases, that now it can be deployed into the use of the primary, the point of contact for COVID-19 response. So we had deployed one of these very interesting algorithm-based AI technology into India, and currently is being used extensively. And as a result, we are one of those tech companies that has been working very strategically, actively with the Indian government. Second is, as you know, that this pandemic has given a lot of stress to the infrastructure in the healthcare sector. And what we have done is that to build labs, the mobile lab, and those labs are as comprehensive, extensive, and also very safe, that complies into the entire standards, that we are able to deploy them into rural areas. So in this case, we were working with the Indonesian authorities, helping to bring those labs, deploy them to the villages, so that those village and townships healthcare workers is able to use these facilities in response to the COVID-19 crisis. Last but not least, this is one of the most exciting things that I've been working on, is really to bring the solution to this entire pandemic. So we have been working with some vaccine developers. And in this case, I'd like to highlight that we are involved in the disruptive technology that uses vaccines to be encapsulated into a capsule form. So what it makes a difference is this is not going to be via a injection kind of model, but we are looking ahead to deploy this vaccine via post. So can you imagine that we have put into a capsule form, send it delivered to your house, to all the homes, and they will just take it into like a pill to get themselves vaccinated. So this is in the final stage of human trial. We are very excited over this exercise, and we hope that in the coming months, hopefully the first quarter of next year, we'll be able to start manufacturing them, so that we'll be able to distribute this globally. So as an investor, we are constantly looking into how we can make ourselves relevant, but more important, creating an impact to the world. And I like to highlight that we as investors really have to play a more critical role in the coming years. Because as you can see that, a lot of these we are in the turbulent times, and a lot of this market disruption is happening. So whether we are in the pandemic crisis now, or we are facing a political issue, we ought to really look at re-examining our purpose and the strategy of how we are building this whole ventures, innovations to the world. And I like to highlight that, as a regulated financial institute, I think we ought to play a more active and critical role. And one of which is most important is to really look at how we can become more environmental and socially responsible. So I would encourage that to all these fund managers to start really looking into how to incorporate the ESG consideration into your entire investment process. So what we have did since 7 years ago, we started this process, and today it helped to give us a broader perspective in looking into how we look at the investment business. And also, there are so many new millennia has been in the rise of the new money, right? As you know, this whole digitalization has created new wealth, and we are seeing a lot of new era of investors coming on board, really looking into how to use and deploy this capital in a more meaningful way. And we have been very lucky to work with some of those very prominent investors, investing into some of these very exciting technology and energy related projects. And I think the ESG is really going to be very important and in the asset management sector. So as you can see, Europe is now leading this entire sustainable investment assets management sector. I would think that in the coming months, you will see Asian investors will be taking a lot of emphasis and priorities in also looking into this area of sustainable investment. To take away, I really urge investor looking at STEM investment, putting in a concept of sustainability as well. So social and environment progress for financial investment is very important. And I think while we continue to harness the STEM innovation, we should also incorporate this very important criteria into the areas of STEM investment. We should also take a look at how to invest holistically. We being a family office fund, we have been doing things more from a holistic view. So we participated in philanthropy contribution, right all the way to direct equity investment as well. So we urge more of these investors to come on board to really look at broadening how they invest into innovations. Last but not least, I think all of us should advocate ESG investment. And I think the best thing is to really have a close collaboration with regulators, with financial institutions, how to work together to close the financing gap, because integrating ESG factor into the STEM investment, in my opinion, is no longer an option, but really a growing imperative. So I hope all of us will have a great event ahead. I like to take away this final word. I think we should really look at sustainable STEM investing, because that will really give you more returns optimized. So with that, thank you very much for your time. And I hope all of you will stay safe and will make this world a happy, a safe, and also a more productive world ahead. Thank you.